Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Modge and Slayer here, and today I wanted to go ahead and go over the Fam Night feature match that occurred at the Remote Duel YCS tournament event that occurred over the weekend. I figured that this would be a good match to go over as it's been quite a long time since like someone was featured at the Remote YCS, or like no, sorry, not at the Remote YCS, on like a Konami featured Konami featured a live stream. I think last time was like actually Julio, I think, who was like the last person to actually be seen playing Phantom Knights at like some kind of like official Konami live stream. But it's been quite a while because, last format, Protoss kind of made the deck hard to play. A lot of people kind of just stopped playing it after the beginning of like last formats when people started main decking Protoss. But I also kind of wanted to hold off from doing this VOD review because I wanted to wait for the deck list to come out. And so this isn't Oscar's deck list, but this is the top 32 deck list. I have it here on screen if you want, and I'll go ahead and put a link to the deck list. It's on Luxury Gaming's Instagram page. But this was the top 32 guy, and this here is Oscar's. We're gonna go ahead and watch him specifically since he did get featured. He made top 16. So you guys probably already know how the match is gonna end anyways, but we're gonna see if maybe there was something he could have done differently, or maybe he does certain plays that we can maybe figure out what his hand was exactly as well. But as you can see from his deck list, main decking Scythe, I'm kind of against main decking Scythe personally. I think it is worth it though. I know I really wasn't a fan of it last format just because of how vulnerable it was to Nibiru, but like now I think that you got the Nibiru protection. And you can go for it playing through like hand traps now that you have the strong engine in form of the adventurous stuff. I think it is worth it. I just don't feel like with this many bricks you're trying to play, which is like 6 bricks, the Faithful Venture, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bricks at that point. And like some people say that Scythe isn't a brick, when in reality, you need a pretty nutty hand in order to make it not a brick. But we can see, main deck's pretty alright, I guess. I mean, I kind of just feel like you need to play a little bit more cards. Only having like 6 going second cards isn't really that powerful. I get the reasoning for the one Ghost Ogre. It essentially turns your E-Telly into like a going second card. So it's basically functions as an extender, as well as to try to trade with like the Griffin Rider. Otherwise, the four traps ratios they make sense. I play the same thing. Um, Plays D barrier in the side, 2 cosmics, 1 duster, 1 twin, 1 red reboot. Interesting ratios. Um, Interesting to see Cosmic when you're gonna side in Lancey against you. I haven't found it also um a deck profile of this guy. So if you guys happen to find like a deck profile, like interview video or whatever, you guys can go and link it down in the description below. See like what his reasoning on like some of these ratios are. Got 3 Lancia and 1 Kaiju. Interesting, the one of random Kaiju. I guess maybe scared of like my rival Cybers, but I don't feel like that's really worth playing, especially like in 42. It's just a one of. But 2 Nib, 2 Token Collector. I mean, 2 of ratios, but he's playing 42, so not totally, that bad. But like his RNG of seeing it as a 2 of. But then for the extra deck, it's fairly standard. The weird thing is that he's only playing 1 break sword. I don't really like El Mirage, where people are starting to play like the low impact hand traps because people are realizing that you need a combination of like 2 hand traps to like stop the pile decks right now, like the 3 access, the base deck, um, the other pile decks. So I feel like with Almiraj you lose to like, every hand trap in existence when you try to go for that combo. I mean, it's a little bit better now that you have the Brave engine, It's like you do your Brave combo first, and then you normal summon the Fan Knight monster, and then do the Almirage play. But I still really don't like it because I don't know, you're just not getting like the best like value out of your Griffin in my opinion. Um, wonder what his reasoning is behind the Access Code Tucker Boral Sword. Um, I really like the second break sword. It comes up, you win the die roll, go first, set up the break sword pop, and then you set up another break sword on your following turn to go ahead and finish off your opponent. But playing no rank fours, this is kind of like a trend I've been seeing lately as well from recent regional deck list. So um I think they mainly took it out to like put in the Charmer that's been putting up a decent amount of work from what I've been hearing from some of my Discord friends. But I think that's enough deck analyzation for now. Let's just go ahead and go into the feature match itself. So it looks like he's from Mexico with this the flag above his name. All right. So it looks like Oscar is actually higher seeded than this guy, his opponent Christopher, because Chris is 9-2 and Oscar is 10-1. All right, so opponent opens up with the right, fairly strong. Go ahead, sets the Faithful Adventure. Okay, looks like he's gonna use the ignition effect to add the Griffin Rider. I watched this match live a little bit. I believe Chris is on Prime Kids, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so he discarded Foolish Burial. Probably just, has the Foolish there to dump the Aquamancer. Oh, so 1-for-1 discarding the Ghost spell for cost. Go ahead, bring out the Wind Prank Kids fansies. Can go ahead and go into the Meow Moo. And then trigger fansies. I won't be going over like optimal plays the Prank Kids players could do, just because you guys know I'm mainly just play Phantom Knights, so I'm not really the best person to like critique on like optimal Prank Kid plays. I just mainly know like the basics of like what the deck does. So it looks like Mamu's or no. Um Doodle Doo is gonna be chain link too. Go ahead and add pranks. And then the water effect, go ahead and bring out the lamp seeds. It looks like they want to go ahead, use the effect, add the water and the fusion spell to hand. Go ahead, activate pranks. So they're going to discard water, special summon out a token. Go ahead and go into Bow Wow Bark. And use the effect of fire to burn. Special summon out Roxy's, I'm guessing. No, fancies, I guess, instead. Ah, okay. Have the instant fusion. Bring out the rocket ride. Rocket ride tribute itself. Wants to add back the Doodle and the Lampsies, or the water, sorry. And then Brite Anaconda effect. Damn, so they're playing the Brave Engine bricks and the DP bricks. Yep, popping Verte and DP itself. And you kind of want to do that just so that way you have free up a zone open for in case you're gonna need it later on. Go ahead, put back the wind and the fusion. Okay, so they pass a turn. Phosphorus can draw for turn. And use Bow targeting Namesis and Tropsies. I think he has wind on the field, so he's going to be able to bring out the Battle Butler if the main phase. Guessing he doesn't mean Expo and Trap removal, so. Wait, I mean, I'm guessing he doesn't. Yeah, he obviously doesn't mean Expo and Trap removal. Sorry. I'm recording this like at midnight right now after getting home from school. Okay, so he wants to activate his own right here. It's like he's thinking. I'm thinking he might have droplets in hand if he's thinking that he's really thinking this hard about having a chance at breaking the board. I mean, he has to deal with an Omni Negate, DP pop, and then like a Regeki as well. Yeah, no, just okay. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't have even like activated the right because it tells your opponent like you're gonna be on a brave adventure package, but you know, majority of decks are on that package, but I would at least like not reveal anything to be honest. Because now they're gonna it would like change like what at least giving them like a hint as to what they should side against you. But I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward here, skip the whole side decking process. Alright, looks like game two now. See what he's deciding to go with. Foolish burial. Okay. Debating right. Go ahead and place the Fateful Venture to the spawn trap zone. Right, using Eat Zelly here, so now you can go ahead. So just summon out like a Psychic or Ghost Ogre even. Um, so you can go ahead use the on summon effect of Fateful Venture to add Draco back. Ghost Ogre, alright. I feel like that hand trap is honestly like a staple now, to be honest. Like how majority of decks play the Brave Engine. I highly recommend playing it in Phantom Knights, honestly. Like even as like a 3 of honestly, I feel like it's really nice. Okay, can go ahead normal summon cloak then. Bring out the Shirabini. Can go ahead dump Torrent Scales. Go ahead use Ancient Cloak effect here. And then Silent Boots. Torrent Scales effect to bring itself out. Alright, so doesn't look like they have a nib, otherwise they would have dropped it here to prevent the Silent Boots from hitting the field, so it doesn't have a chance to go ahead and add him a Pog Blade for interruption. Alright, so now he's using the Torrent Scales effect, discarding an Ancient Cloak he has in hand. Go ahead and dump Wings. Right, go ahead and use Boots, Sherbini, ink into the Rusty Bardiche. I'm guessing he might want to go and dump Gloves at this point. Yep. Say Wings, Revive, maybe Gloves or Cloak, I would guess. Okay, can go ahead and overlay here. Damn, so he opened a double Ancient Cloak when it's only like a 2-0 in a 42 card deck. Go ahead and get into Levier here. My biggest question here is just a misplay because his thing got ghost ogred. So I mean, it's like it's not really worth it in my personal opinion to go for Aquamancer just to put it back in the graveyard for follow-up since like your chances of like hard drawing the Griffin and like I know you decked in your deck quite a bit after going full combo, but you know you're still banking on like a one out of like 20 or so chance like you know being in your deck after deck thinning. But yeah, I don't understand the logic here. You guys see maybe like something I'm not getting as to why they bring back the water enchantress. I'll just call it water girl from now on. The water girl. Let me know in the comments below. But I would have valued more just a brick sword pop, to be honest. Or if he really does prefer Levier, bring back a different name like Ancient Cloak, since you only run Ancient Cloak as a two of, and you usually run the three boots and one stained underwear. Think off the token and the Levier into the Dagda. Okay, Rider Gloves effect. Probably gonna tag out for a Pog Blade, I'm assuming. Yeah, see, if he would have just gone for like an Ancient Cloak, like what I was saying earlier, um, he wouldn't need to go ahead and like use a Pog Blade. He'd still be able to keep it in deck for follow-up. Like, he would just revive back the Ancient Cloak in attack position, link off the Brave token and the Levier into Dagda, and do this play without having to use the effect of Rider Gloves. I mean, obviously this line of play works where he gets to set up the Scythe look, right? It's just that my line of play that I was playing out earlier would have just been more conservative and like more resourceful. Like sword pop, bring back skills boots, link them off into the Vertana Canada. I mean, this is also why I get the premise as to why people have dropped the rank 4 um from their extra deck, because you're mostly just going for Verta Anaconda, so getting rid of like your PK monsters on field and in graveyard, having like a boots in the graveyard to go ahead and like add a Pog Blade. But I still like playing the rank 4 personally. Case Fire Ready Hard Draw the Fusion Destiny. I mean, yeah, it doesn't happen quite as often since it is semi-limited now, but I just really like it as like an option to go into, to be honest. That and I'm a little bit biased of Redoer. Ooh, it had the Dasher in hand. So all his interruptions are known. We know that the um card in the same column as Vertanicon, I believe, is the Pogblade, and then the card same column as Rusty is the Scythe. Boots, sadly shade breeding. See, this could have been a Pogblade, like I mentioned earlier. Also, had he dumped instead of like the fog the wings with torn scales, and he was gonna do this play all along, what he could have like hauled it on to, like if he wanted to keep the Dagda on a field, if this was like his plan, then he could have just went ahead and searched out wings and then bring out DP, pop your own Verte and itself, and then it frees up a zone, so then now we can go ahead and play around droplets in this draw phase by trying to pop your own Scythe with the break sword effect. Then if it doesn't work, go and use DP, other itself and Dagda. But I mean, you're kind of adding a shade breeding that doesn't do anything other than you're just like deck thinning. I mean, he pops his own Pog Blade, but the issue is you're just gonna lose harder to droplets this way. Like, even if you're gonna do the break sword pop, it's like, okay, you try to trigger it, alright, chain droplets, sending Rusty, sending DP, and now you lost an interruption you could have used for flop blades. Like, yeah, they're not the greatest in the Prank Kids matchup because all their effects like trigger in graveyard, aside from like Doodle Doo that like adds you a card from deck to hand. But I mean, still, this isn't really the best management of his resources. But another thing to account for is like exhaustion. This was like a 2-day event. Lots of times of like hours of like intense, stressful matches. So, I'm not gonna like completely bash on the guy saying like he's dumb or like I wouldn't person making this plays. I'm mainly just like critiquing on it, from just a watcher standpoint. Just kind of give like my critique analysis of how I personally would like do different lines of play and how I feel how like his lines of play are like good and bad. If you're catching my drifts. You're gonna go ahead and called by the grave the site. Go ahead and activate field spell. So down to 3 hands, we know called by Ghost Ogre, and now the field spell is up. Looks like he's letting that resolve. I'm thinking he probably wants to just wait until the normal summon the prank kid and then pop it with DPA, so that way they can't chain block since he has monsters on the field to reduce attack points. Oof, and ends up having the fusion spell. It's like fusing in, using the Lampseas and the wind. So either way, even if he did like, hop the field spell itself, um, he still would just normal summon the kid and then get its effect go into Meow Meow. So he's just reading a card. God send field spell. Bring out rocks and the water. Those two off into Doodle, I'm guessing. Yep. Field spell chainlink 2, Doodle chainlink 1. If they added Pandemonium there. Bring out the fire. It's like banish for Roxy's effects. Can't tell what they banished. Prank kids pranks? Kind of hard to see. Really hard to see, to be honest. Just go summon out the water one. I'm also listening to commentary to help me pick up on anything I might be missing personally. You guys can't hear it because I have my audio from my speakers muted. Just sort of thinking on the targets here. Hold on one second. Back. Sorry about that. OBS doesn't let me pause. I had to go open the door real quick. Sorry about that. Wreck-It Rate effect. Bring out fire. Bring out doodle doo. Go ahead and use fusion. So the fusion isn't a hard once per turn, but the thing is, he's locked into special summoning out only Prank Kids monsters. Go get rid of fire. Bring out the Meow Meow. Still have not used the DP effect as well. Okay, so now he's attempting to use DP effects. Wants to go ahead, know what's going on in the graveyard, or making a foul decision on what he wants to pop. Gonna go ahead and bring out the fire. Fire attack over the brick sword. And go off into the bow wall bark. Okay, dasher effect. So they're rewinding. Because technically the DP was supposed to blow itself up due to the drawback of Fusion Destiny. Alright, he's asking if Doodle has any protection effects. Of course, the first said no. Looks like still in the standby phase. He's gonna go ahead and pop the Shade Bidding and the back row, try to play around Effect Veiler. And he's just gonna admit defeat because, you know, Oscar has Ancient Cloak in Graveyard, Torn Scales. The Celestial for draw. I think I might have accidentally went back there a little bit. Damn, look at all the shuffling. How the fuck do you guys do this when you guys actually duel in real life? Bro, it's something that I probably need to get used to if I ever decide on playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In real life after graduating from college. Because of like all the time rules you guys like put up with, like all the shuffling they make you guys do. And they open up right again. Lamp sees into Miamu, chain blocking it, bring out the Fansies, add Draco back. It's kind of crazy how that card made Prank Kids so good. I was debating with my buddies on Discord what we thought like the best deck was this format, and like there's definitely like, three decks in top contention for being like the best deck, even though Based won the YCS technically. Prank Kids did have like the most um top cut players overall out of any other archetype. And that was my prediction when I was talking to like some of my buddies who were trying to get ready for the remote YCS. My personal opinion was that Prank Kids is the best deck, and it kind of shows after the results of the event after the weekend. They're gonna go into Doodle Doo, bring out the water. Go ahead and link it to another Doodle Doo to get the water effect. Now they're gonna bring out the Roxy's. Tribute to get the fusion and the water. Pranks. I think they added that off of Doodle Doo in case I missed that, sorry. No, that was Pranks, sorry. To bring out the token. Go to Bow Wow Bark. Roxy's to banish wind. Draw a card. Got it to summon out Fanzins. Damn, hard open the fusion destiny. That's rough. Gonna pop itself and deep the Draco back. Gonna shuffle back Pranks effects. Deciding not to reflip the Draco back. Interesting. Not sure if that was on purpose or he just forgot. Probably just wants to pop DP to play around droplets. Because if he droplets here, he negates the Bow Wow Bark and the Griffin, but he still has to deal with the pop, non-targeting pop from DP during the standby phase. I'm gonna chain Called by the Grave to Griffin. That's attempting to negate the Cosmic Cyclone right now. They're gonna go ahead and chain Bow Wow Bark at this point. You know, just in case if you know, he happens to like still have droplets in hand, he still hasn't used it. He's probably maybe hoping to have like using the Cosmic Cyclone called by the Grave as costs, quickly realizing that, so tributes it for costs. Okay, so brings back Dasher, still has to resolve DP. Ooh, and hard open the Faithful Adventure. That's rough. You really want to bring that out with like bad of Aramezio, Aramesir. I've heard many people call it different names. Normal summon tracker. Ooh, he opened up like no Phantom Knight names. So adds Draco back. Now uses the ignition effect to go ahead and add the Griffin Rider. Or no, not Griffin Rider, sorry. The Water Girl. Yeah, the Griffin Rider wouldn't make sense, sorry, because he doesn't even control the token on field. He already controls a monster on field, so couldn't even special summon out. But its other effect of if you control no monsters, you can special summon itself out. Kind of like a junk forward-esque type of effect. Let's see here. On resolution, go ahead and use Call by a Grave on the Water Girl. Yep. So saw two of his bricks in 42. That's the unfortunate part of happening. Um, so yeah, so opened up fairly poorly that game three. Just had no interruptions for Prankid's player during his own turn when he was trying to combo off. So sliding into some judgments and lanes, damn. So he was ready for to fucking be Oscar. So quite a bit of side deck hate. But yeah, so that was the feature match. Remember, if you guys want to go ahead, comment. Maybe you guys see different lines of play or want to go ahead and like talk about what maybe you would have done differently. Maybe you might have found like his deck profile interview somewhere where I haven't seen it to be honest. But go ahead, you can probably link that down below in the description or no, in the comments section. Sorry if you'd like to. But yeah, so that is going to be it for the video. I thought this was interesting. I've noticed that you guys like the deck profile interviews, since that gets the most likes out of the majority of my videos, aside from like a couple of like the high rated DB replays we go over. But yeah, I'll try to go ahead and like if more feature matches come up like this, especially since Phantom Knights are like, you know, more popular than ever, you know, not the best deck, but definitely like top five most like best decks this format. You know, I'll go and try to do these more often. depending on like, you know, how much more YCS events we get. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for the video. Remember guys, if you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like, recommend it to your friends, and yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Peace.